Hello, welcome to my channel, Lady D. This will be my astrology and psychic reading video on Lyle and Erik Menendez, the Menendez brothers. So we'll look at their chart. I'll look at their natal planet chart as well as the transit chart as I use the one chart. And we'll go back in time to see, what made them do this back in 1989 and what I see coming up for them in the future. I actually do feel like they're going to be freed this year, but we'll look at their charts and we'll just see why they did it and what's also in their charts too. So I'll just share the screen so you can see the chart. We'll look at Lyle's Menendez chart first. He's the older brother, so we will just share my screen. Okay. So I've got here his Lyle Menendez chart. So he's born on the 10th of January 1968. I looked to the internet when I looked up, it's saying 12:10 p.m. That's the chart that I am using. So he is an ascending Taurus. So he comes across as being quite quite stubborn. He has a moon in Taurus anyway, so he would be a little bit stubborn. Want to be comfortable, like his sort of luxuries, and also, likes money, has a thing for money, and likes to be comfortable. These ads always annoy me. Okay. So that's how people see him. And he does have his moon, as I said, moon in Taurus. He's also got here Mercury. So he would be very much money, luxury kind of guy. Having his Mercury in Capricorn helps him, and the Sun in Capricorn help him. That really helps him to be structured, more organized, sort of likes to know what's going to happen. It would also, he would have to follow his rules or rules. He wouldn't want people bending or breaking, I'm going to say his rules because we know that he did break rules, but he probably, be like, that's not fair when he's growing up if someone broke the rules, or as he got older, probably more his rules, I'm going to say. Um, but it helps to give him a lot of structure there, and also good with business. Capricorns are good with business. But there's also other things in the chart which we'll get to as well. So Venus in Sag, so he likes women who are very fun, outgoing, risk takers, for like flirty, youthful kind of ladies or partners, we'll say partners. Now his Mars is in Pisces. So Mars in Pisces for him, if he gets so if he gets his anger gets triggered, he's going to get a bit crazy. Okay, so if he can't do what he wants to do, if he gets told, how to be, and yeah, basically if he gets triggered with his anger, he can get a bit crazy, as we know what we've seen the crime that he's done or that they've done. Um, he's got some squares to Venus too, so probably not. He's not the best with money, as we know as well. Probably having these squares. He's got Jupiter square Venus as well as Mars. That's Mars square Venus. Not good for arguments and relationships, and also frustrations with money. There is with that aspect too. Also with his emotions too. Not good when he gets angry with his emotions as well. But he does have a nice sextile too. He can sort of talk his way out of things, and with when it comes to communication too as well. His life lesson is also part of being about communication, is part of his life lesson as well. So he's also got a number of tries here with Uranus. So these are actually quite positive. So unexpected things happen throughout his life, and they're actually quite positive. Unexpected communication again. So these can happen throughout his life, that he gets unexpected news and it's actually quite positive. So he gets these aspects as well. He does have some positive aspects and some aspects which are not so positive as well. Okay, let's get to where the planets are. So the moon is in his first house, so he is a bit of an emotional person. Also, having the moon in your first house can mean that you look like your mum or you're similar to your mum. And the photo that I've sort of got a photo here so I can look at them to get a sort of more of a psychic prediction too. With the recent photo that come up, he does actually, you can see the mum in his face. So I thought was interesting. He's also can be a bit of an emotional person as well. Um, with that. And then we go to the fifth house. I'm just doing where most of like where the planets are placements are. Although I see he's in Cancer. So he's the sort of the family, all about the family as well. Um, his fifth house has got Jupiter there. So he actually does have luck with relationships, but they may not last because he got Neptune in the seventh. So they come in, but they sort of may not always stick with that. He's going to have some health issues throughout his life too, some unexpected health issues, unusual things. That also could be the hair loss, the early losing his hair early, and then he's got Pluto here too. So there could be throughout his life some health issues that come up with that. Yes, so it could be some health issues that do come up for him throughout his life. So in the eighth house, he's got Venus. Venus is love or money. So being in the eighth house, he might eventually meet someone who's got money. His house also is inheritance. So it is like I have a feeling this chart may be a little bit like a few minutes off or out as well. So as we know, they got their inheritance from their parents. So we got the Venus in the eighth house can be like inheritance as well. It didn't last. But yeah, he also may be someone who gets money from other people. Who knows? In prison, maybe people send him money. I'm not too sure about that. But yeah, he would get money off other people in some way with Venus being there. The sun here in the ninth, I have a feeling, so I say it's a little bit off. I have a feeling that the sun's more in the 10th, because that would be that he sees his dad as a career man. In the ninth house, he might see his dad as an intrusive, someone who's quite intrusive and smart, which I guess him that does show as well. But I kind of feel like it's a little bit more in this side, but it's close to the 10th house anyway, so that energy would still go into the 10th house. It also would make him very focused on his career. His MC is in Capricorn, so he would be sort of focused on like entrepreneurship, like businesses, and structure. Um, if this didn't happen, he probably would have been good in a like being like someone to do with something to do with law, like a law enforcement or lawyer. There, but all probably did like business, very focused on business, or what we did see when they did get their money. But it didn't really work out for him though. And then also we got, so for him, for his career needs to be something about communication. So if they do get out of prison, and he does, or maybe even in jail, I'm not too sure what he does, but he may do a lot of like talking to people and a lot of like communication. And when he gets out, if he does get out, the work that he does will be something about communication will be a big part of it as well. But I dare say if again he gets out, he'll be part of business. He even may be, if he does get out, he might, or even in jail, he may even be advocating for people or researching the laws and telling people different things about different laws and helping them perhaps on their cases. We don't know, but that could be what's happening with him because he has that in Capricorn in that area. His communication is very structured anyway. The way he thinks is very much by the rules, which is weird because they had that crime that they've committed. Um, so yeah, when it comes to friends, there's Mars is in this house, so it is a strength for him as well for friends, but he gets frustration and angry with them. He holds a lot in this young man, or not young man anymore, older man. He holds a lot in. His life lesson is to do with the 12th house, a house of secrets. So the 12th house is where we hide things. It's also about secrets. It's hidden enemies. So his life lesson is about secrets. It's about hidden enemies. It's about institutions as well. It's also in Aries, so it's about dealing with, I guess, people of authority, and I guess it's also about leadership too, and argumentative people argue, yeah, about argumentative people as well. It's part of his life lesson, we can see that. This is someone who hides his problems, and also hides his pain. So if what they're saying that the parents did to them is true, Well, he'd be someone that does hide it and wouldn't want to show it and wouldn't want to like tell them. So, and then when we see him in a court case, it did look like it was hard for him to say those things. So that explains that part as well. In relationships, he can be quite manipulating in relationships as well, because he's got the DC in Scorpio there. So right now, go for the transits now, and then we'll go through Erik's chart, and then we'll go back in time to the night of what happened, and then I'll give my bit of insight on what I feel is coming up for the two brothers. So basically for him, what's coming up, he actually has Uranus over the moon. So it's something unexpected, unusual happening over the home. It's right now. So we don't know what that could be. That could be him getting out. There's something also, Uranus in the first house can be something unexpected happening to you as well. So he's got Jupiter. So Jupiter for the first house, like you're heading in the right direction. Jupiter in the second house is a pay rise, so more money's coming to you in some. So for him, there's more money coming to him in some way if he hasn't got it already. So it's up till June. So from now to June, there's some sort of money coming his way, and then it's about getting along more with his sibling as well. Interesting. They see him as he's like a family person as well with that I see in Cancer, which is interesting too. When we come up to this part of the chart, we've got Pluto in the 10th. I dare say he's studying. He's probably studying something different, or he's changed what he's studying if he is. There could be a change of travel as some traveling with that planet being there if they do get out. Oh, sorry, Pluto in the 10th, sorry. So there's changes in his career. Sorry. I got the houses. It's all close together. So Pluto in the 10th house, it's a constant change in his career. So it's constant change in what he's doing. I'm not too sure what he's doing in jail, but there'll be different changes. And even that could have been when he comes out, what he does, well, obviously it would be different, be starting again. So that also can be Pluto. It's about starting again. The sort of death of one thing and rebirth of another thing. And it's going to be a lot of changes in his career. It's going to be there for about estimating 10 years to go. Now he's had Saturn through his 11th house, so he's had some problems with friends. He's probably gotten rid of some friends around him currently as well. And then we've got Jupiter. We're going to have Saturn and Jupiter in this 12th house. That can be health issues, but technically Neptune dissolves things. So it's gone over Chiron, so dissolve with sort of pain. They're going to come and go conjunct in this 12th house. This could be dissolve in institutions. It could be that we read Neptune in the 12th house, could be a dissolve in institutions, which what he's in now. It also could mean, this also could mean, also he's got Chiron and he's got the Saturn also coming in this 12th house. Chiron's already here. That's health issues. And with the Neptune being there, it bogs it up. So he'll have something wrong with him, but it won't find out exactly what's wrong. He'll have to try and look for other doctors to find out exactly what's wrong with him. So, but I feel like the interesting thing is this Uranus over the moon to see what's going to happen. If we do find out what's going to happen, it's something unexpected over the home, and that also could be the reopening of the case. It could definitely be that as well. So that is Lyle's chart. I feel like because he was the mastermind, he was the planner with what happens, and that's the Capricorn, they're planners. They're about getting the job done, endurance, and so we do see that he's actually quite smart. It's with the night, so the spotlight's on the ninth house and coming in 10th. Even though they portray him in like that show on Netflix as not being the sort of the smartest guy there, but looking at the chart, he actually would be quite smart and that's quite logic and a planner. He would have to plan things and have routine. So interesting because he's a Capricorn. So let's look at Erik's chart and then we'll go back in time to see what was going on back in that when they committed the crime. Okay, stop sharing. So we'll just share again to see the chart. Okay. So we can definitely see that Erik is more the playful sibling here as well. So you got Erik being more the serious sibling with that whole Capricorn energy there. And as I said, when he gets crazy with that Mars, he gets a bit crazy with the Mars there in Pisces. So Erik is an ascending Virgo, so it comes across being more sort of put together, a bit more perfectionist, wanting things to be perfect than his brother. But he's a Sag. That's why he comes across as being more easygoing, more playful. He comes across more charismatic, Erik does, so as well than Lyle. Because he's got that the Sagittarians, they're good communicators, they're good storytellers. So that's why when you see him doing, that's why he does most of the talking, because he's the one that's more like, let's say likable, or has that more of that that his character is. It is more likable, I feel. And he's got his Mars in Libra, so he's more calming as well, as his brother's a bit more not as calming, and his demeanor is different. But Erik's he's more, because he's got that Sag there, it like sort of makes him more youthful. And he does look he's kept his looks, if you want to say, and he does look he's still got that youthfulness about him. And also they're risk takers as well, and they are very fun people. So, but he's very charismatic with that Sagittarius energy. Now, Moon in Scorpio, so he does keep his cards close to his chest. He would be big on loyalty and trust, but he would have a bit of a stinger as well and can get a bit emotional. Mercury in Sag, so even the way he thinks, and he's someone that you can't trap. He probably being in jail probably really makes him go a bit, I don't know, a bit crazy, but bonkers, because he's someone who needs to be out and about. He can't be trapped. You can't trap Aquarians, you can't trap Sagittarians. So, and even being at home in that environment, he probably felt very trapped, and that probably wouldn't be very good for him. He needs freedom. He's got his Venus in Scorpio, so he likes women who can be a little bit manipulating, but very loyal, trusting, but keeps their cards close to their chest, as well. But yeah, Mars in Libra, so he's more that calming nature. Um, Even Jupiter is also in Scorpio as well. So he probably knows a lot when it comes to like underworld or taboo subjects. So he has in his second house, he's got Pluto, Uranus, and he's got Mars. So Mars, it's like the gamble that pays off. Pluto here, if again, if this chart is a little bit out, even by a few minutes, and that Pluto, and it's very close. So Pluto in the first house means you have a very bad temper. It's like someone you don't want to get angry at. You get the very bad temper, like a bad, scary temper. Um, but in the second house, what he does for a living can change. And is what he's got Uranus in the second house, so for the way he earns money, like unexpected, unusual ways. So I kind of feel like with these, we both said aspects of their chart, I kind of feel like they're not going to be in there forever. Anyways, so that's his second house. His third house, which is the house of siblings, he's got Venus. So he has like a deep love for his brother. He may they sort of hold it in there, but he does have it's Venus, it's in retrograde. He does hold his love in, but he does have his deep love, a big love for his brother. Jupiter there, so they do get along. And he's the sibling that looks forward to fun. He has that fun vibe. And again, it's that Sagittarius energy that he has with him. He's also got with the moon. So he sees his mum as a sibling too, by the way. But also he's the sibling who has empathy, which I feel like we do see that with him. And he's also the sibling that acts more of the parent as well. And I feel like we kind of do see that too. And he's got more empathy, having the moon being there as well. So, and we do see that out of the two, he does seem the one that has more remorse. As I said, he does do all the talking, and that's a Sagittarius, but also that's how we perceive, because he's got these planets here all in that third house. I said, he's the chart that has more things in it when it comes to when I could see stuff like, oh, okay. Which is interesting because I do feel like that, yes, the other one was more the planner with that whole with all that Capricorn energy there. So fourth house, we've got the Mercury, we have the Sun, and we got Neptune. Neptune's on the cusp here. So again, if it's a timing's a little bit off, will be in which different houses here, but they can also, whenever the cusp, I always read both houses anyway, because I find the energy goes into the two houses. So Neptune in the fourth, it is a dissolve in the family, which has happened. It is a dissolve in the home, which has happened. We know this. But he's very focused on his family, and he would see his dad as a family man, but he has his big focus on family. So right now, I guess his family that he has left, and also his brother is a big thing for him. And he feels most comfortable communicating to his family with Mercury being here as well, which is interesting. Now, if this I see, if it's in Scorpio, I said if it's out by a few moments, I'll go either way. If it's in Scorpio, there could be that he's the one that keeps the secrets of the family as well. Could be as well, or there could be like taboo things happening within the family too, which again applies to what they've been saying that how their parents have treated them and what happened in the family. If it's more in Sagittarius, it'd be like, he's the fun one or the risk taker in the family. I kind of feel like it's this his MC's in Scorpio from what we know and what's been going on, just from their lives. So, and I think in the fifth, his life lesson is to do the sixth, which some people read the sixth house as a career. I read it as health. So his life lesson is, well, his health is part of his life lesson, but also it's in Aquarius. So part of his life lesson is about, I guess, looking for his freedom or having his freedom, about being independent, being an individual, technology, being a humanitarian. All these things are part of his life lesson in this lifetime. So we got Chiron in the eighth. Now, he's probably not the best. So there's problems with the inheritance where they got taken off them. So for him, so it's like pain with money. He holds his pain inside. So he hides his pain. And again, I feel like we see this when we see him doing interviews because he seems more the charismatic person. So we can tell he does hide his pain. Um, but also when it comes to money, it's probably not good for him to give money away or to lend money out. Probably wouldn't get it back. But he's paying for this lifetime is money, especially in his inheritance. So losing his inheritance probably caused him a lot of pain as well. So also what I've got here. Also too in that fourth house with that Neptune being there, it's about the parent that can't be relied upon. So he couldn't rely on both his parents. So we see that in the chart as well, which I thought was interesting. Now, he's probably a bit religious, having Saturn in the ninth house, favors religion. He could have had problems at school with Saturn being there, probably didn't like school. Also, he may could have been issues with how him traveling when he could travel as well, perhaps with him. What's coming up for him is he's got actually Jupiter in his 10th house. So that's his career. It's going to be there till July. So whatever they're doing in jail, whatever their career is at the moment, he likes what he's doing and it's positive. He's got Uranus in the ninth, so that can be unexpected travel, could be unexpected in learning something new, something unusual as well in the ninth house. So next year for him is about meeting new people, being more social, and meeting new friends next year for him. And we've got Chiron in the eighth. So again, it's money issues coming up for him. There has been issues with relationships. I do know he's married, but there's been problems. There would have been problems there. I mean, we don't know this. I mean, I don't know, but there are, going by the chart, there's problems there in the marriage relationship. So that relationship, it may not last. He's also got Pluto in the fifth. So there could be a breakdown in the relationship there. I mean, who knows? Maybe that he gets let out and then he finally goes and meets his wife and they live and they find out they don't really fit. It's not compatible and it could end. I mean, he's married someone who he can't live with. So that's what's in the chart. But going forward, especially more next year, he's going to have problems with money as well. He's going to lose more money next year too, because next year he's going to have Neptune and he's going to have Saturn in the eighth house as well. So let's go back to 1989. Oh, if I go down here quickly, he's got less aspects than his brother does. Um, and again, this is good for his confidence and his communication. Again, it's why we see him talk more than his brother. Um, and we've got, let's see what else. His brother has more aspects than he does too. So yeah, let's go back. Let's go to the night of when this happened. Okay, so we're going to go. So I've asked Google. So Google said that it happened on the 20th of August in 1989. Okay. So in 1989, what was going on in their charts? So he was playing tennis. So his career was actually taken off. He was actually, whatever he was doing, whatever he was working, it actually was going quite good. I think he was a tennis player and that was actually going good for him. I could see why there was issues there with his career earlier on, like earlier from this, because he would have had Chiron going through that 10th house. He would have had some issues with friends though during this time. But at the same time, um, oh, I guess, well, he did meet new friends because he went to jail. But yeah, Jupiter going through his 11th house, so he actually met new friends because he or went to prison, when Jupiter was going through the 11th house. But we got down here in the third house, Pluto is over Venus. That can be death with a loved one or money. So it can be a big loss with money and also with a loved one. So that can very much trigger what had happened. So when I'm reading someone's chart with that, like I know for myself, I lost my cat, but then I got a cat back at the end of the year. So, so you see the similar energy, but totally different scenario, but the energies are similar. So with Pluto hitting Venus, it is going to be a loss of a loved one or money, and it could be death. So in this case, both parents gone. Even though the Venus is in the third house siblings, we're just looking at the planets, planet hitting a planet. And then we've also got Uranus going through this fourth house. That's unexpected, unusual things happening in the home and family. So again, this is something that's unexpected, unusual. They planned the crime. There was something a bit out there, let's face it. There wasn't the house life, the home life, sorry, the family life wasn't going smoothly. He'd had Saturn had been going through that house there previously. So the past, say, 3 years have been quite tumultuous, quite problematic for Erik. And then he's also had Neptune's transit going through that too, which he was born with it. So, which I thought was very interesting. Um, so I like the chart. The planets don't lie. That's the thing. So he had all this stuff going through the bottom part of the chart, which is the family. Just seeing, he's actually quite angry too. Mars in the first house, it's like a strength, but also can make you angry. So he was actually feeling quite angry as well with this going on as well. And it's probably sort of amped up him to go along with this as well. And on that day with the moon over the Chiron there, it's also a bit of a emotional roller coaster for him on that day too. So those are the aspects, and that's sort of why when I look at the astrology, why this happened in his chart. Let's look at Lyle's chart on this day and see what we can see that happened. But I always feel like, let me just stop sharing so I can put the other chart up. I feel like that Lyle is more the mastermind behind this, and even though, I mean, it could be wrong because of the Scorpio energy for Erik, we wouldn't like assume that he is because it's that secretiveness about it. But underneath, he could like, there's definitely, yeah, he could do this where he's done it, the chart, but also that Scorpio vibe there. But I kind of feel like Lyle is the mastermind with this. So let's just share and look at Lyle's chart for that year. Okay. So what do we have going on here? Okay, so we got Jupiter in the third house. It's luck with siblings, so they get along better. He sort of ramped him up, told him, let's do this. We're going to do it together. They've done it. Chiron, but their relationship though wasn't the best. It wasn't, there was a bit of issues going on with their relationship as well. That's the thing. But for him, maybe he was jealous of his brother. Maybe his brother was more the favorable one. But anyway, there's like Jupiter there, so it's luck to get them to get along better to act out the crime um as well. So for him, so Pluto's in his seventh house. There is an ending of relationships there. I mean, his parents is a relationship, so that could be that it too. Plus, we've got a little transit here. We've got Mercury over Pluto, which can be basically a death in communication. So, we don't talk to someone anymore, which is sort of, what's happened too with this. It's got a lot. We can see previously he did have money issues with Lyle, so we can see that. And he also got some unexpected money too, as well, with Uranus going through this eighth house. That might have been when they were breaking into other people's houses with Uranus going through the eighth. Could have been that. So nothing will be interesting when Neptune came over his sun. That would have been something dissolved in his life. So that was a number of years away though. But all being in the ninth house, it's basically schooling or when the university he dropped out. That's dissolved because we got Neptune, so it's like dissolve in education and learning. So that would have been that, and also problems there as well with the Saturn in that ninth house. That's why he was having the issues there, and they were sort of conjunct too in that ninth house as well. So all those problems that he was having to do with school. I don't know if he traveled or not, but yeah, that's all the problems that he was having through his university and school where he got kicked out. And then with Uranus being there, it's like unexpected as well. So that's with that part um too. And then when it would have been either way, but then Neptune would have gone through the 10th, would have been dissolving his career, which when he would have been in jail. So that's what we see in his chart. So we see more in Erik's chart to do with the family than we do in Lyle's. But I kind of feel like that Lyle is the one who planned it and the mastermind it. And maybe because, all this stuff's going wrong with schooling and the pressure for him, and it seems like he's not can't finish school, doesn't know what he's going to do, and that panic and with that stuff that's going on at home. He's talking to his brother and they decide to do it and they do it. So that's kind of, and as I said, with that Pluto, which is causing this sort of death and transformation energy within partnerships. Usually it's people relationships that's most closest to you. But in this case, as I said, his parents, he does have a relationship with his parents too. So also with that. So let me just stop sharing. So as I said, I feel like that these two gentlemen will be let free. I thought April they might be let out this year. And if I go back, we can even go back and see the chart in April as well. Let me just see. Anyway, I looked and there wasn't a lot there, but anyways, there was some stuff there, but the video will be long anyway. So as I said, when I look at these two brothers, I do feel like the mastermind. I feel like since they've been in jail, the mastermind is more the younger brother, which so more Erik. But I do feel like when the actual crime, I feel like it is more Lyle who thought of everything, but he didn't think things through properly. I do feel like I said they will be free I kind of feel like that they, will be doing talks and their lives will be sort of split and doing different things as well. I feel like though, I feel like the older brother may be more of an advocate when he gets out for people and maybe about really rehabilitating into the back into like into the system or coming out of the system. The younger one, I feel like kind of like he just wants to be at home. That's what I feel like with him. He just wants to be at home. He just wants to be around family. His work is going to be so he's either with Erik, it's Taurus or Gemini. So he'll be doing a lot of different things. And even for him, it couldn't be about learning or teaching. He might have a career in teaching or other people as well. See, but I feel like that Lyle may be more vocal when they come out too. I mean, I feel like they got a close relationship. I feel like they're thick as thieves, but I just see them going sort of, well, not say they're separate ways, but I see them two paths coming out because I feel like they're going to want to do different things. And, but I feel like we're going to see more of the older brother when they come out doing more talking and more things there, which we can kind of see, um, with Lyle in his chart with that Mercury in the 10th house as well. But also, I do feel like the other one is, he does have empathy and he has caring. But he may even, I feel like the younger one, he may even be good with working with youth and young people with troubled youth as well. I do feel like as well. So we'll see. I feel like everything's covered in the chart. But like I said, I do feel like they'll come out as well. One wants to be freed more than the other one. I do feel like that. One wants to, like one likes, has like the security or the routine. I think that might be the older one. The other one, as I said, the younger brother, he would need to get out because he needs his freedom. He needs his space. He doesn't want to be cooped up anymore. And I feel like he just wants to have fun as well. But in terms of secrets and stuff, yeah, that's more with the younger one too. The older one likes to hold more stuff in as well. I like their family will embrace them. I feel like that it would be a big celebration as well too. I mean, my personal opinion is, look, I don't agree with what they've done. I think it's a bit dramatic, but at the same time, that Gypsy Rose got out last year, and then so it's like, how can you have her come out free and then they're still in there? Um, I think she's just as bad in what she had done too. But that's my personal opinion. But I do see them being free. And I keep on hearing April, so I feel like something's going to happen in April with them. Anyways, that is my reading for today. I feel like this has gone long enough. So if you want me to look at any more cases or any more charts, please put it in the comment section below. And I thank you for your likes, shares, and your comments, and I will see you for my next videos. So bye for now.